in welcoming our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sunil Thakur. Sunil is the country director for BMC India. And Sunil has just 25 years of executive experience in customer engagement and working with various tech majors. Sunil leads business in India and SAARC for BMC, spearheading the digital transformative initiatives for customers. Sunil, over to you for your thoughts and reflections on the forecast of possible tech adoptions.
Good afternoon, Kaushikda, and good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed our pleasure to be participating at the launch of this research paper. And, I have known Dr. Kapil Dev Singh for some time now, and he's been a veteran in this field. He's always delivered some very interesting research papers. I had an early peek at the summary of this report and, of course, the methodology. And I saw in the chat window people talking about the comprehensive way in which everything was covered in the report. And it all goes down to the methodology that was adopted. And I must say it's got a lot for all of us. And of course, like all of you, I'm eager to get the full copy of the report. Now, what impressed me most, like most of you, is when I saw the summary and now I'm seeing the full report, the details these report captures. And the quality, of course, stems from the methodology that was deployed to get this report. So compliments once again to Dr. Kapil Dev Singh on behalf of BMC Software, and we thank him for the work. Now, of course, we would all love to be in person at the launch of this event, but the fact is that we are talking to you in a virtual world. And for me, it seems our meetings of the future will remain a melting point of virtual and physical interaction. So little will change, right, from what we were, right? The global economy also, if you look at today, it's highly interdependent. So the impact of outbreaks and disruption were easily moving from one country to another. And some industry where technology could play a limited role, like travel and hospitality, you needed people to travel, right, have been slow to recover. But businesses where technology could have played a role and businesses that applied technology have survived and they've boomed, they've done so well, right? Think about a lot of these cloud-based service providers, they've done so very well. But then the big question comes back to us is, are you ready? Now, being prepared is the key to being able to respond. So if you look at our daily lives, we've all started using technology in every sphere of our life. Our kids have their virtual classes, and the fitness class, this was something nobody would have imagined. The fitness class has gone virtual, and so have probably the doctor's visit. When you couldn't have imagined something like this 2 years back. So a lot has changed. But what a big impact is that the data usage from home has gone up globally by about 18% over last year. And not just at home, but everywhere. We've all started creating an exponential growth in data. For example, when you're checking weather or you're checking traffic when you're using Google Maps, right? Every interaction is leaving a trail. Last year, every person created about 1.7 MB of data per second. Now, 70.3 billion real-time transactions were processed, which is up about 41% from the year before. And it is estimated that we are likely to generate 79 zettabytes of data this year. Now, let me try and put that amount of data into perspective, right? You can store up to 30 billion high-definition movie in 1 zettabyte. So imagine 79 zettabyte of data. You'll take many, many years and many, many lifetimes to actually watch all the 30 billion high-definition movie. But by 2025, it is supposed to get doubled. It's supposed to generate about 181 zettabyte of data. So data has started to play a major role in taking the right decision. I gave you the example of Google Maps, right? You use it every day. Everything is generating data. Your action, my action, employee action, customer action, everything is generating data. The power and the value of data and how you use it is going to shape the future of any organization. Now you look at the banks. Banks are trying to give a personalized experience. Of course, this is possible with automation, and Dr. Kapil Dev Singh covered that, right? That's one of the key trends that he sees. But the challenge now is different. We have a lot of disconnected automation tool all over, right? The need is to get all this under a platform, and organizations that have used this power have seen 70% reduction in processing time. Now, Okay, let's keep our focus back on the importance of data. That's what I was talking about. Now, more than ever before, these data-driven businesses is becoming fundamental to success. The challenge is which data to use, when, and where. So as far as data is concerned, it's not about how much data you have, but how you will use it is going to give you the edge. Now let me clarify, BMC is not a data analytics company. We are a data operations company. Our solutions orchestrate your complex data operations, data pipeline, and interpret them into actionable insight, which could create a business value. We introduced a concept called ADE, Autonomous Digital Enterprise. And this is about an organization of the future, an organization in 2025, but it seems to be coming up much faster. This organization is supposed to be highly agile, enabling new operating model so it can be truly disruptive in new areas while still supporting its traditional business models. It delivers a customer-centric experience that anticipates customer needs and delivers the goods and services requested at the right time via the customer's preferred channel of choice. That's the omni-channel experience that Dr. Kapil Dev Singh was talking about. And uses data to drive actionable insights that serve and anticipate customer needs. So the world is changing and changing very fast, a fast pace, and there is no signs of it slowing down. But what I'm happy to share today is our own journey to become the autonomous digital enterprise with our own data operations. We are collecting a lot of our data. We have our own expansive data strategy. We are collecting data from various data streams, business data from our internal system, sales data from sales management tools, customer data from every interaction that we have from the customer, employee data from HR, and together with our data from network and security system. All this is analyzed, and this guides all our decision process in creating the best experience for anyone that touches BMC. Now, a lot of organizations have implemented the data strategies to not just move their people from repetitive tasks to a higher value task, but to gain significant advantage in this highly competitive world where customer experience is becoming a key driver. So let's take an example of a grocery company. They implemented and used the power of data, and they had a massive reduction in the waste. And there are lots of examples. Healthcare, for example, is finding new ways to augment patient care with data pipeline and automation by sharing information across a network of hospitals on beds and staffing availability, so they can meet the critical care needs of the patients, right? Imagine what difference this would have had in managing the second wave when it came to. I mean, these are just few examples. Data-driven opportunities are available to everyone, be it finance, retail, manufacturing, telecom, any vertical. It's available to everyone. And we have learned many lessons that can be applied to our organizations to charge ahead of our competition. Now, the big question is, are you ready to make the seismic shift? And what will you do with your data? Will you invest in data strategies to unlock the value of data? In recent survey that we did with a lot of the CIOs, we found that data-driven initiatives are already becoming the #1 priority for business. And we have all seen the journey from central computing to distributed computing to cloud computing, and now we are moving to something called as edge computing. In the foreseeable future, we will live in this complex hybrid world where all this is going to get amalgamated. Now, very rapidly, we are harnessing the data and analytics at the edge computing, and it is opening up immense possibilities. The big change then is the ability of the edge computing to collect, analyze, and act on the data. Gone are the days where you have lagging central computer insights. The data is now acted upon where it is generated in that instant. The problem we need to solve at the edge is the latency and security, and in a potential use case where you're integrating the edge data with the data residing in the central computer environment. This is where we need the intelligent automation to orchestrate important edge data with central data pipeline for the required insights for automated action instantaneously. Now imagine a high security establishment that stores a high sensitive biometric material, uses sophisticated security and surveillance protocol from high resolution camera, capturing facial and body recognition to temperature monitoring, movement tracking, and of course the good old biometric. The facility operations can manage and maintain proper security for all these biomaterials. It's like an action movie. The system detects their status, the permissions, and acts accordingly. When a threat is sensed, the facility locks down to protect its own assets. But what if the same things that keeps your enterprise system performing to the best of their capabilities actually end up helping you create an environment like this? So last year, we also did one thing. We introduced a few more tools. And those tools are called, for example, BMC Helix Edge. It's an innovation we first introduced last year, and it is ready to monitor all your edge infrastructure. And there are something called as BMC Helix Log Analytics, which also helps secure your edge. Now see where the things are going. It is easy now to get overwhelmed with data, and knowing what data to use, when to use, is how you're going to conquer the data. So we believe in the power of data in an enterprise and how it gives actionable insights. And a lot of that data and discussions is what Dr. Kapildev Singh talked about in his reports. So again, my compliments to Dr. Kapildev Singh. He's the master of data and analytics himself, and the report is the testimony. I congratulate him once again, and best wishes. Thank you, everyone. Had a great time.